We put the flat on the market with another agent in August 2018. And within about 6 weeks, we had somebody put an offer in, and it all seemed to be going fine. And then they couldn't come up with the money, the funds. And so, it took ages and ages to get information about what was going on, and our solicitor hadn't heard anything. And then finally we heard they didn't have the funds, and so pulled out. Actually, they offered us a lot less, which we couldn't accept, because at that time we'd put an offer in on a lovely property in Water, and we needed a certain amount of money to be able to buy that property. Anyway, in the end, we lost that property and we lost our buyer this end. So it got to Christmas time, December 2018, and we thought, well, we'll give it a few more weeks, give it to the new year, and still no luck. Nobody, put an offer in. So we thought we'll look around and try some different agencies. And firstly, we knew that our neighbours in number 18, they'd sold through Martin Gerard. And it's in a prime position as well on the high street. So walking past, the photographs always look good in the window. And so I think we called in on 3 different agencies, actually, 2 in Crouch End and another in Highgate, because we thought Highgate people can't quite afford Highgate prices, might come and look at N8. So went in and we had different agents come and value the place, and we just got a nice feel for Martin Gerard, and very friendly. Realised it was a family run company. The main difference that we found using Martin Gerard with the other main high street agent was better communication, written communication, prompt emails, telephone skills were good, clear speaking with Antonio, and the fact it was a family-run business, we knew there were a lot more branches, and the communication between the branches seemed to carry on, whereas there were other branches of the other high street agent we used, but we never saw anyone from the other agencies, so we weren't sure whether they'd communicated with them or not, whereas it was very clear they had communicated with the Muswell Hill and the East Finchley office, because they actually came and visited us here and wanted to talk through the property, so that if they got anyone interested, they'd be able to come and do a viewing with them. Also, actually, they would do evening viewings, whereas the other agent seemed to, if it was after 5, we had to do the viewings, whereas with Martin Gerard, they always would come and didn't think it was unusual to come at 6:30, because of course lots of people are working and that's the only time that they can come. So that was a big difference as well. I always felt we could trust Martin Gerard because lots of reasons really. A very sort of friendly, open manner with us. When things got a bit tricky towards the end, because there were a lot of problems with freehold transfer, that sort of thing, they were very good then at contacting the other estate agent involved, the solicitors. There was one time when I tried to ring the other person's solicitor, and they immediately got on the phone and said, look, we're doing all that, don't worry. They're very reassuring, and made it clear that it was their job to do all of that sort of communication. Another thing was that Antonio and Martin Gerard, I felt that they really knew the area, they knew the catchment, that we've got a very good and outstanding primary school at one end of the road and a very good secondary school at the other end, and you felt that they knew the area. They knew that this flat in particular was different because of the amazing garden that we've got, and we're able to sort of point out to people, you wouldn't find a garden like this, in London. Very hard to find a garden that was like this. So their local knowledge was a lot better than the other agent that we used. With the first agent, the people they were bringing through, didn't always, you knew straight away the property wouldn't suit them because it's got very low ceilings. There's also a staircase which is quite tricky for, say, someone elderly or somebody who couldn't walk as well. And I noticed that Antonio, the people he was bringing, there would be a family maybe with one child, which this flat would be perfect for. And they seemed to get a better idea of the sort of client that the property would be suitable for. And as I say, they brought younger people, people who could walk up and down the stairs, and people who were not too tall. I decided to give this testimonial for Antonio and Martin Gerard because I think they stood out from the other agent that we used. And it would be good if other people had the recommendations, so that if they go on the website, they can see that they've been highly recommended by other clients. Having gone through the whole process of selling, which is really traumatic, I would definitely recommend Martin Gerard and Antonio and Dario in particular, because they were very professional and it kept us well informed throughout the whole procedure. And seemed genuinely pleased actually when we did have the sale. So yes, I'd definitely recommend them.